Hello everyone. Okay, next time we talk about how to make what is the importance of making your intention more clear, and the root cause of um, the root cause of making you hesitate, the root cause that you have either is the attached intention and the redundant intention. Actually, they are these two terms are the same meaning. Okay, and the attached intention is caused from ego, and today we're going to talk about the ego further. But we're going to introduce I'm going to introduce the structure of ego to you. Okay. Actually, the structure of ego is really simple. There are only two ingredients in the ego structure. The first one is self-sense, and the second one is ego force. Okay, what is self-sense? Self-sense is a concept. For example, you think there's a obvious example, like you think the boundary between you and the outside world is your skin. Inside the skin, it is you, and outside the skin, it's not belong to you. Okay, but the concept not only lies in the physical layer, but also lies in mind layer, mind level. Like you think you are separated individuals from the world, and that is a concept of self-sense in mind level. Okay, once you have self-sense, you have ego force. Like you think you are individuals, right? And you may think, I want to be I want to be smarter, I want to be a millionaire, I want to be more wealthy, and yeah. Once you have self-sense, you have ego force. I create this term myself because I use this term to describe the abstract concept of ego. What is ego force? Ego force is a force. It makes you grab something. It makes you want to grab that of thing, like you want to go to the best school in United States. You want to go to the best school in the world. You want to earn more and more money. You want to have more and more house. You want to have lots of girlfriend. Blah blah blah. And it's a force. Ego force is a force that make you want to grab more things to increase your value, to increase the value of yourself. And it's generated from the self-sense. That is to say, self-sense generates ego force. And once ego force is generated, like okay, now I'm also student. I'm an awesome student. I go to best college in the world. Yeah, and I feel confidence, and this make me have more stronger. This make me have more stronger self-sense, and the stronger self-sense I have, the stronger ego force I have. Like wow, I'm the best student. I'm the one of the student in the best college in the world. So I want to find a very high salary job, and that's another kind of grabbing. So the structure is bidirectional. The more self-sense you have, the more ego force you have, and the more ego force you have, the more self-sense you have. It's a bidirectional structure, and if you are not going to a very very top, if you're not going to a top college in the world, and you may feel lucky, because it's very easy for you to dissolve your ego. But it's not applicable. It's not applicable to everyone. I mean, I graduated from just example. I graduated from a top school in the world, and I go to the top enterprise in the world, and I earn lots of money. My salary is very high, and I have lots of house. I have lots of mansion. I own a skyscraper. Then it's very hard for me to dissolve my ego, because I have lots of things. I've very good education history. I have lots of property, and it's hard for me to dismantle my ego, because just like a fort, you have lots of all this external matter, and it just make you like a solid castle, and the castle is hard to be dismantled, because you have lots of external matter to form your castle. So what I want to emphasize is that if you're not going to top college in the world, and you feel lucky, because it's easy for you to dismantle your ego. Yeah, but once again, this is not applicable. This is not applicable to everyone. Yeah. There's also lots of humble person who also, I mean, there's lots of some great people. They are very humble. Yeah. So okay. So we jump into conclusion. The ego consists two parts. One is your self sense. One is the ego force. And the more self sense you have, the more ego force you have. The more ego force you have, the more self sense you have. And this is bi-directional feedback system. Okay, that is the structure of the ego. And in the later volume, we'll talk about how to deal with the ego and how to dismantle the ego. Okay, bye bye. Volume 2, the structure of ego. Bye bye.